Hopefully you guys can hear this. If you can't, let me know, and I'll adjust the volume. Let's see what he has to say.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. And they're rated equal.
What do you think, gang? What do you think? He's come under fire for this. He's come under a lot of flack for these comments. Do you find this disrespectful to the veterans who are in my audience? And there's a couple of you. Do you find this disrespectful? I'm going to give you my thoughts in a bit, but I want to hear what you think first, right? I want to hear your thoughts first. They're rated equal. They're rated equal. Okay, so full disclosure, I don't have either of these medals. I don't personally know anyone who has received either of these medals. And one of the reasons I don't know any Medal of Honor recipients is because it's so difficult to obtain. As Trump alluded to in his remarks there, it is awarded, it's the highest military award that you can get, and it is awarded for extreme acts of valor and bravery. There's a few requirements for it, actually. Let me read a few of the requirements. If someone wants to get a Medal of Honor, this is what they got to do, okay? An act of bravery. The act must be an outstanding display of personal bravery or self-sacrifice that goes above and beyond the call of duty. It must occur while the service member is engaged in an action against an enemy of the United States, a foreign opposing force, or a friendly foreign force in an armed conflict where the U.S. is not involved. The risk of life. The act must involve the service member risking their life. And the act must be confirmed by at least 2 witnesses. And this was established in 1963 during the Vietnam War. It's a huge thing. It's a big deal. It's one of those things where if you get it, you've earned it. And a lot of people earn it posthumously after they're dead. It is such a high honor. And veterans take these kinds of things very seriously. And this is like one of those awards that everyone respects the recipient of. As a veteran, if I meet a Medal of Honor recipient, that's a big deal. These are a big deal. Let's hear what J.D. Vance says, okay, about this.
I wanted to ask you, Trump has been getting attacked from his comments at the press conference yesterday about what he said about the top military honor, and veterans have pointed out, he said that the civilian presidential honor is better than what wounded veterans have received. And I wondered, what do you say to veterans who think that's demeaning?
Well, look, I was with a group of veterans in Pennsylvania yesterday, and trust me, the veteran community is very, very much behind Donald Trump. So, look, what I would say to people is, look, what President Trump said during a ceremony, and I haven't seen the entire remarks, but my understanding is President Trump said during a ceremony that a person who received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, he was saying some nice things about her. He was saying some complimentary things about her. Donald Trump, I've seen give out a Congressional Medal of Honor. I've seen him give out a number of awards and commendations to military veterans, and of course, I myself am a Marine Corps veteran of the Iraq War. This is a guy who loves our veterans and who honors our veterans. I don't think him complimenting and saying a nice word about a person who received the Presidential Medal of Freedom is in any way denigrating those who received military honors. They're 2 different awards, and I think the president was saying some nice things about a person that he liked, and that's a totally reasonable thing to do.
So I didn't get that from what Trump said. I think that J.D. Vance here is trying very, very hard to spin this as something it's not. J.D. Vance said something else there that I found interesting, that veterans stand with Trump. Well, let's hear what the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the VFW, has to say about this. And I'll read this out. They released a statement on these remarks. And this was released on August 16th in 2024. And it's from Al Liphart, the VFW National Commander. Okay. So what he says, on Thursday, former President Donald Trump spoke at an event where he made some flippant remarks about the Medal of Honor and the heroes who have received it. In the video that is circulated online and in the media, the former president was recognizing Miriam Adelson in the audience, who he awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom during his time in office. As he described the medal as a civilian version of the Medal of Honor, he went on to opine that the Medal of Freedom was, quote-unquote, much better than the military's top award, because those awarded the latter are, in his words, either in very bad shape because they have been hit so many times by bullets or they're dead. He continued by comparing Miriam to Medal of Honor recipients, saying, she gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. They're rated equal. These asinine comments not only diminish the significance of our nation's highest award for valor, but also crassly characterizes the sacrifices of those who have risked their lives above and beyond the call of duty. When a candidate to serve as our military's commander-in-chief so brazenly dismisses the valor and reverence symbolized by the Medal of Honor and those who have earned it, I must question whether they would discharge their responsibilities to our men and women in uniform with the seriousness and discernment necessary for such a powerful position. It is even more disappointing when these comments come from a man who already served in this noble office and should frankly already know better. While the Presidential Medal of Freedom may be our nation's highest civilian award, the Medal of Honor is more sacred as it represents the gallantry and intrepidity of courageous and selfless service members, often at the cost of grievous wounds and even their lives. It's because of our Medal of Honor recipients that great Americans like Miriam Adelson have the freedom to live to their fullest potential and make such lasting contributions to our great nation. We would like to remind Mr. Trump that the 12 times he had the honor of awarding the Medal of Honor as President of the United States, those were heroes not of his own choosing. He bestowed those medals on behalf of Congress, representing all Americans of a grateful nation. We hold the donation of their lives and service to our country in the highest esteem, and so should he. So the question is, what do veterans think? And I think that those who haven't been ideologically captured by MAGA echo these sentiments. Medal of Freedom's great. It's a great honor. But the only reason people can be awarded that honor is because of the sacrifice made by those who have received the Medal of Honor. Okay. They're not the same. They're not equal. And it is disrespectful to equate the two, I think. And disrespectful to be so flippant, as Liphart says here, about the sacrifice of these individuals. That's my thoughts. That's what I think. But what do you think, gang? What are your thoughts? Wick, are you taking call-ins? Yeah, if you guys want to call in for a little bit. Are you really surprised as Trump, he's not well-spoken? I mean, fair. And here's the deal. If the only issue had been these remarks, if this is all Trump had ever said and he flubbed this one as he was trying to compliment someone, that would be different. But Trump has said shitty things about veterans before, right? Suckers and losers, I think, was the term that one of the generals overheard him say. He's also made remarks denigrating John McCain. He likes heroes that weren't captured, I believe was the term he used. Again, this just shows a pattern of being willing to disrespect the armed men and women of the military. Over and over again. If you go against Trump, it doesn't matter your service record. If you go against Trump, you could have every medal in the book. He does not care. He does not honor that sacrifice. He does not respect that sacrifice. He does not care. It's all about him, and it always will be about him. And this is why I think he would be a bad steward of the United States military.